Hi everybody, my name is Sandi Boucher and welcome back to The Learning Curve. As always, I want to thank you for all the feedback and comments. The fact that this TV show is resonating with you and helping you to understand those issues in our city is exactly why I wanted to do this. So thank you as always for those comments. And again, as always, if you have a topic that you don't understand, send me an email or go to the Learning Curve Facebook page and just send me a quick message. I'm certain I can find someone to speak to the topic and help you through that learning curve. Now today I have some exciting information for you. As you've seen in this show, we're often discussing challenges. There are things that need to be understood, bridges that need to be built, and conversations that need to be had in this city. But every now and then, I have the pleasure of tripping over something that absolutely works. And that's what today is about. So today we're going to be talking about the First Nations Natural Resources Youth Employment Program. You are going to be blown away when you hear about the success of this program and how long it's been around. I couldn't believe that I didn't know about it until just this summer. When you see how successful it is, I think you're going to agree that this is a model that has to be replicated. So as always, grab your coffee, head for that comfy chair, and I'll see you in a few minutes as we walk through the learning curve. Welcome back everyone. Again, I'm Sandi Boucher and this is The Learning Curve. And today I have the pleasure of introducing you to Dave Bradley, who is the Regional Manager with Outland and specifically the Director of Indigenous Workforce Development. And we have Sayber Spade from
Fort Hope.
Excellent. That's not how it's pronounced.
Well, it's pronounced Abmictung.
Yes, thank you. I was like, that's not it. Awesome. And you're a graduate of the program we're going to be talking about today. So that's fantastic. So as mentioned in the intro, we're talking about the First Nations, and I have to look at this because it's a really long title. The First Nations Natural Resources Youth Employment Program. Dave, thank you. Dave and Sayber, thank you so much for coming out today.
Thanks, Andy.
Before we jump into this, I always we really focus on people are people. It's not just topics. We have to start actually building relationships with each other. So where are you from? Are you born and raised Thunder Bay?
I'm born in Pembroke, Ontario, in the heart of the Ottawa Valley.
As far away from Thunder Bay as you can get. So how did you end up in Thunder Bay?
Basically, I met my wife at university. Okay. 10 years later, we re-met.
Wow.
And at the very same time, I was working here with our firm, Outland.
Okay.
So in 1993, with Nancy here and Outland here, I moved up with my bags for good, 1993.
Ah, that's amazing.
So I feel like a local.
Yeah, after a while, right? I think you got in enough years.
Yeah.
And Sayber, what about you?
I lived in my reserve as a child, moved up here. I was 8 years old for their education. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so which high school did you go to?
I went to St. Ignatius.
Ah, okay, awesome. So let's talk about this. The First Nations Natural Resources Youth Employment Program. Now we know each other, and you know I was absolutely blown away by the graduation services this year, by this program, by what it accomplishes, and the fact that I didn't know about it, which I've lived in the city for 25 years. I'm Indigenous, and I didn't know about this. So there's something wrong here. So hopefully this program helps that a little bit. So what is this program for people like me 6 months ago who had no idea? What is it?
It's a program designed for high school age kids from First Nations across Northern Ontario. And in fact, it's now more inclusive, including the Métis community as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and actually we're about to have a name change to be more inclusive, but maybe we can cut back from 6 or 7 words to 2 or 3.
I like
Sandy
the way
will be
you're
happy.
going. Yes, I like the way you're going with this.
We started in 2000. The idea, we were working with a couple of our forest industry customers or clients, and we needed to, the idea was to come up with a program that really engaged Indigenous youth in the communities, and it allowed the forest companies to establish develop some real relationships and some capacity building in the communities, because they had been having trouble kind of having getting meaningful outcomes through the programming they had put together thus far. So we created a proposal, developed a model, and really the same model we developed back in 2000 is largely what we're doing today.
Excellent.
And it's been, since then we've had over 400 youth graduate from more than 50 communities across Northern Ontario.
Yeah, it's amazing. So it's been running for 17 years.
18.
18 years. So how long is the actual program though? Like each year?
Yeah, each year, 6 weeks in the middle of summer. It's a summer job for each of the participants.
Okay.
And then it's also a learning work skills and life skills experience as well, including employment.
Yeah. Now, the first event that you invited me to, that was like halfway through this summer's program, right?
Yeah, so that was our partners' luncheon.
Okay.
And each year the youth, during the 6-week window, come into town for a week-long science week. And each of the 2 camps are based in either of the college or the university. So they stay in residence.
Yep.
They have learning activities all week long. And during the week, we have our partner luncheon where we bring the youth together with local supporters of the program, advocates, government, commercial, and industrial partners. And Patty Haidu was there this year. And Sandi Boucher was there this year. So, but it's a wonderful way to connect the youth to the supporting group around them.
Yeah.
And really what we've found over the years, this is one of the neat things we've discovered, is just how the possibilities for engaging the wider community around the program. Getting businesses and education connected to our group of youth, building the personal network of the youth themselves, so they know where safe places to do business are in town, places to go and be educated, places where they can flourish.
Yeah.
You know, and the idea is that our partner group will be that place that creates opportunity for our graduates going forward in their lives.
Yeah. The thing that blew me away, and I think I mentioned it that day, was I walked in a couple minutes late, thanks to my schedule. But you were doing roll call at that time. And now I work with Indigenous communities across Canada. And for the most part, youth Indigenous audiences are pretty quiet, pretty reserved. It takes a while to get them to be outgoing and vocal. And I walked in, and one by one, students were standing up, participants were standing up and saying which First Nation they were from, and the pride was just written all over their face. And at that point, I knew nothing about this program. And watching this, I was like, and now I need to know more about this program, because I don't know what you're doing, but so far what I've seen, it's amazing. So when did you graduate? When did you go through this program?
I was in it 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I graduated in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you remember this partner luncheon that he talks about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did it feel from your side of the fence?
It was a bit different. Like, oh, are you talking about the one this summer?
No. The one you were at.
It was
actually a little different back then.
It was different,
okay.
It's been a tweak.
Okay.
This is something new in the last couple of years.
Okay.
But
do you remember your graduation?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the other thing. I've never seen. Now, I'm all about empowerment, if you're not aware of my career, and helping Indigenous people as a whole, but especially the youth feeling good about themselves and who they are. And to watch the pride at that partnership event, and then at graduation, I was just like, I need to replicate this everywhere. Like, it was just so fantastic. So, and part of that, for the audience who doesn't know, this is why I was freaking out so hardcore. So these are the stats from this year. So you have 2 camps, right? Mink Lake, where's Mink Lake?
Mink Lake is adjacent to Quetico Provincial Park.
Oh, okay. Did not know that. And I found Sandbar. Only because I found myself heading up the Pickle Lake Highway. And I was like, wait a minute, right? Yeah. Okay. So Mink Lake, 23, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, ORCA certifications obtained. What's
so
ORCA?
That's canoe and kayak paddling certification. Sort of a water, water safety and canoe skills.
Okay. Did you take that?
Yeah.
Did you love that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That sounds like something that would be totally amazing. Yeah. Just at Mink Lake, there were 36 high school credits obtained.
Yeah.
This is a 6-week program.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's enough hours for our certified teacher in camp to deliver the curriculum that's been approved by the school board, enabling us to award these credits to the youth. So basically, every youth participant is eligible for 2 credits each summer in that 6-week period.
Wow. And
literally, for someone like Sayber coming in and maybe grabbing 4 credits over two summers, it's getting people out the door.
Right?
It's the difference for a lot of youth, and our graduation statistics are through the roof.
I'm seeing, when I was sitting in the audience at graduation, and I'm staring at this paper, and I'm seeing 36 high school credits and happy youth. Right? It's like, whoa, this needs to be replicated. 23 first aid certificates obtained. 30,000 trees planted, and that was only Mink Lake. We have 110,000 trees planted at Sandbar. Another 21 ORCA certificates, another 22 first aid certificates, another 36 high school credits.
And we actually don't indicate our chainsaw training certificates, our SP 102 forest firefighter training certificates. They came along with it as well.
I want high school to be like this, and I'm going to get in trouble for saying that, but seriously, right? Like, I mean, when all I remember is the smiles, the laughing, the friendships that were so obvious at that graduation, and these results. That is flipping mind-blowing. So what else has changed? You now have a partner luncheon. Is there any other big changes, or just minor tweaks?
It's a good question. I mean, over time, the development of our partner group and the engagement with the outside kind of community stakeholders, trying to create these connections, establish pipelines. So NFMG is a forestry company, Aboriginal based in the Marathon area. And they've come in and supported this program big time in the last 2 years because they see it as a wonderful opportunity to give baseline information and learnings to youth to prepare them for a career. And so we had one of our graduates from a couple of years ago worked for NFMG this year, and he was the tree plant supervisor for the tree plant for the spring and summer. So he was employed for four months. He's now in school, employed for 4 months.
Wow.
And he was overseeing the tree plant, which is like in my startup with Outland, I was running tree plants and I would have had to deal with the supervisor on site. He was the supervisor. So here he is overseeing a tree plant with some company working for him. And he did a fantastic job. And he's a perfect example of kind of the life skills and the understanding of the topic that has led him to success. And, Carmelo, our partner, is really hoping he's going to want to stay in forestry as a career.
Awesome. Awesome. That's an example of what this does. It's mind-blowing. And when we come back, we're going to talk with Sayber and hear your personal story and how things changed for you as a result. So go refresh that coffee. You're not going to want to miss this. And we're back talking with Dave Bradley and Sayber Spade all about the First Nations Natural Resources Youth Employment Program. What is the short form for that? FINRIP or something? Yeah. Okay, I'm still not going to touch that. So Sayber, by the way, you have the coolest name ever.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want to say that. And I wasn't going to because I thought I don't want to embarrass you, but every time I have to say it, it's like, that is seriously,
I get that a lot,
right? It's like, seriously? When you told me his name, I was like, really? That is so cool. So you've gone through this process. I'm watching from the outside and think it's amazing, but I'm going to turn it over to you now. I want to hear, like, where were you when you got into this, and what was it like?
I was still in high school when I was in it, and I didn't know about the program. Never heard about anything, just like you.
Just like me, yeah.
And
good.
yeah, I went in there, you know, no skills, nothing, and came out. I knew how to work a brush saw. I knew all these life skills, knew all these adaptable skills.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like I came out a better person with like leadership skills and everything.
Wow. So were you the shy, quiet type or outgoing?
A little bit too outgoing, maybe. But
oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a little bit of a troublemaker, but I feel like I came out and I've learned a lot now.
Wow.
And much better at it now.
Focusing your energy now?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm thinking of all the youth I work with, and if there's no other way to get attention, right? And you're lacking some interest in something because you just haven't found that thing that you're interested in yet, that kind of stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
That's totally. So what grade were you in when you went into this program?
I believe I was in grade 10 when I joined.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your favorite part?
My favorite part of the whole program?
Yeah.
Food was pretty good. I think production, even though it was like very hard work, I enjoyed it. So.
Okay, what's production? Is that the tree planting part?
Tree planting, brush
sawing. That sounds hard.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Right? It is. It's hard work. Okay.
Yeah, we also did like a cooking segment in there where we got to buy our own groceries and everything.
Wow.
And actually, that's where
skills.
I started cooking there, and I got an interest out of it. I was like talking to the chef that was cooking for us, and he gave me his book. I got to check it out a bit, and I kind of cook now. So.
Oh, do you really? Oh my God, that's amazing!
Yeah, it sparked it off there. So.
Came back as assistant cook this year in the camp.
Yeah, I've been working for them all summer.
Okay, that's cool. Now we're going full circle, right? So now you're seeing these youth coming in.
Yeah, I got to see them, and it was awesome.
Oh my God.
With some crew leader and training activities as well. So we had kind of a dual stream of capacity building this summer.
And that the youth are so going to identify with you, right? Because you've walked the exact same path, right? Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my God, and you like cooking. Okay, we don't have that in common. That's never, not even this program could help with that. But I'm curious, it runs over 2 summers, right? It's a 2-year program.
Yes.
So as a youth, like you go take this amazing program, then a whole year happens before you go back again. Was there any doubt that you were going to go back the second time?
No.
No?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I loved it, every moment of it. Got to meet a bunch of friends.
Okay.
And, you know, that kind of got me excited to come back to see them again the next year.
Oh my God.
So it was really cool. And I think just even the littlest experience I got out of there, you know, I had no experience and I come out and I know how to do all these things.
Okay.
And that just, on a resume, that looks amazing, right?
Oh,
just that small portion of the program.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Awesome. Now, I'm going to touch on a topic maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Dave's going to give me a look. But when I first heard about this program, the word ranger was being thrown around, right? Because I guess that used to be part of the name or something, right? And I didn't realize when I started going back and looking on my Facebook friend list, I didn't realize how many Indigenous youth I knew that if, you know, where you list your jobs or where you went to school, that they had ranger there.
Ranger at Outland.
Right? Like and I had no idea what that was. And then all of a sudden now I'm enlightened and knew about this program and realized everyone knew about this program.
Yeah, it's actually
me,
like
right?
I've seen people that like, I'll just start talking to them and I'm like, yeah, I used to be a ranger. Like, no way, me too, you know? And it's like the randomest person, I don't know them.
Right?
Like this was like, I think it was near Red Lake this summer. I was working and I met a ranger there. And I was like, wow, that's cool. Jade. Yeah. This was years ago too. Yeah.
Well,
that's crazy.
How long? 18 years.
Yeah.
So, and what's the average age of a student going into this?
16 to 19. Usually they're still in high school.
Yeah.
So they can benefit from the co-op credits offered.
Right.
So usually somewhere in their grade 10 to grade 12 window,
Yeah.
they can start with us. And then after that, they can stay for another year. no matter what they're doing. So some have come back for second year from a college class.
Oh, wow.
Say, for example. But most are still in high school when they leave their first year and they go back and finish high school or something like that.
And I was just thinking, because of the ages and how long you've been doing this, you now have parents out there that are raising little people that are probably hoping that rangers are still around, or
we've actually started a survey. Started a survey to that effect to ask our early graduates how the experience impacted their direction in life, and would they like to see their own children participate someday? And it's a 100% absolutely, yeah. So I mean, wow, and we're only 5 or 6 years away from that. The first of the graduate kids to join us.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm thinking, like, this is generational now.
Yeah.
Oh.
No pressure.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
we're trying
not
to
that I
keep
want
the
to put
thing
it
going. You know, like it's
Exactly.
a challenge to keep it going.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a funding issue, right? Yeah, as always. I'm curious. So we looked at all of these things that we achieved this year. What kind of things did you learn? What kind of achievements did you rack up in your time there?
I've a lot. I know that for sure, but
you got high school credits.
High school
you mentioned
credits.
Chainsaw, right?
Chainsaw safety. Yeah, I didn't know how to work a chainsaw perfectly, but after that,
I'd be scared stiff to touch a chainsaw. Can honestly say. And you did that orca thing, right? Because you knew. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They showed us how to do a bunch of knots as well, which is very interesting.
I have no idea what S102 certification is.
That's like your basic firefighting. It's not your full-fledged firefighting certificate, but it's just like the basic stuff. It was actually really cool. We got to use the hose. It's pretty powerful. Like I'm a big guy, right? But I was like holding it down. It was like, yeah, it was pretty cool. Like just taking like bark off a tree. It was awesome. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I knew that there's a lot of force coming out of that. I don't think I realized there was that many. And you would have met people from all over, because the one thing that blew me away at both the events I attended was just how many communities were in the room. Like I can see 18 communities represented, 12 at the other camp. Yeah. So you would have met youth from like, all over.
Like I have best friends from all these different communities that I met through the program. And I still keep in contact with them. It's, like from like Fort Francis area all the way to Kapuskasing. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's one of the for the youth, that's the thing that hits them first, is all their friends. But the friend group is now all across the province.
Right. Like
they're linked from all over the place, and they're so, it's so important to them that they work at those friendships, you know, and that's really blows me away. I think we've got a lot of kids spread out across the province with a new awareness about who they are and who's out there. Like even for some of them to understand that they live here, but so-and-so comes from over here. Like they didn't have that logistical kind of geographic awareness until they got together and realized, wow, we're all over, you know, and it's really neat.
I don't know if you highlight it, but I mean, I'm hearing this as an entrepreneur and I'm thinking you're teaching high school students about networking and the power of networking, right? Like that's mind-blowing. Yeah. Because I know even when I was in high school, and okay, that was a while ago, we'll admit it, but you were scared stiff to graduate because that was the world you knew, and you didn't know people outside of the high school, especially because I come from a small town, right?
I think networking's been the biggest thing. It's gotten me jobs.
Right?
And it's given me job offers. And it's just all through this program, all the people I've met. Even I've taken that outside of the program, and I've kept contact with these people, and it's given me a lot of opportunities.
Wow. That mind blown, exploding.
We have graduates who are now in band council, for example. You know, they're adults and they're contributing to their communities. But just think, counselors talking to counselors across the north, like
and already have that bond and already know that they can identify and have things in common with someone from a different treaty area, because you're talking cross treaty lines here. So that is mind-blowing. Did you know how many things you could achieve at before you took the program?
No.
Right? Yeah. That's the other thing, because the youth I meet, they don't have that confidence in themselves yet. A large part because they didn't have the opportunity to test, right? And to see they can. And again, back to the graduation, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's like a big thing for growing as a person. And I believe you say friends, but I feel like a lot of a lot of the youth leave the program feeling like a family.
Yeah.
Because they all made that connection with each other and they all went through hardships within the weeks.
Exactly.
And I believe that's how it is. And
wow.
It's really cool.
I can't believe our time's coming to an end. Because I could seriously talk about this all afternoon. Now, if someone in the audience wants to hear more, and I have no doubt in my mind they want to hear more, how do they find out more? How do they get a hold of you?
Well, I'm at Outland here in Thunder Bay. So we're in the phone book, but my cell number is 624-7200.
Okay.
Feel free to call. My email address is dbradley@outland.ca. Feel free to email.
Excellent, excellent. And I can always put that information on the Facebook page for the show.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming out, guys.
You're welcome.
As always, please take this fantastic information you've heard today and use it in your conversations. Mention it to your friend. Ask them if they've ever heard about this program. And if you're working in a program and it's not working or not achieving the results that you hoped for, well, maybe you need to give Dave an email or a call and just find out how you can tweak that, because this is seriously an example of what success for our Indigenous youth look like. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me as always. Until next time, this is Sandi Boucher, and we're here at The Learning Curve. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.